You're watching Business Now on IBrandTV Lagos. Now to Africa scene. Captains of trade and industry say strategic investment and sustained local production is the solution to Ghana's inflationary pressures and economic challenges. They noted that the continued importation of goods, including about 70% raw materials for local production, was the main contributing factor to the rising exchange rate challenge and high inflation rate and its attendant economic hardship. Joseph Obeng, President, Ghana Union of Traders Association, Greater Accra Chairman, Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, and Adu Owusu Sarkodie, an economist, said this during a media engagement. Akbelo noted that about 70% of raw materials for production were imported, which made local manufacturers incur high freight charges to the exchange rate and the inflationary pressures. According to him, Ghana needs to prioritize the domestic production of goods to halt the rising rates of inflation and spur local production. Caledonia Mining Corporation, PLC, has recorded a new high in gold production as output 40% in the first 3 months of 2022. Latest update shows that the top miner recorded growth in both productivity and earnings during the review period. The first quarter performance saw 18,515 ounces of gold being produced in the quarter compared to 13,197 ounces produced in the similar comparative period last year. The 40% increase in production was due to higher tons milled, improved grade and better metallurgical recoveries, and the update said gross revenues of $35.1 million was earned during the period compared to $25.7 million earned in a similar period last year on the back of a 40% increase in production and a 6% increase in the realized gold price. The revenues include the sale proceeds of 442 ounces net of gold in work in progress. Now to foreign news. The price of wheat has jumped on international markets after India banned the export of the staple cereal. The benchmark wheat index rose as much as 5.9% in Chicago, the highest it has been in 2 months. The export ban comes after a heat wave hit India's wheat crops, taking domestic prices to a record high. The cost of everything from bread and cakes to noodles and pasta has risen in recent months as wheat prices soared on world commodity markets. India's government said it would still allow exports backed by letters of credit that have already been issued and to countries that request supplies to meet their good food security needs. Government officials also said the ban was not permanent and could be revised. Now, Russian energy supplier RAO Nordic says it will suspend deliveries of electricity to Finland from Saturday, citing problems with payments. The company said it had not been paid for previous deliveries. The Finnish grid operator said Russia provided only a small percentage of the country's electricity and that it could be replaced from alternative sources. On Thursday, Russia threatened to take retaliatory steps after Finland said it planned to join NATO. Finland shares a 1,300 kilometers border with Russia and has previously stayed out of NATO to avoid antagonizing its eastern neighbor. However, since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there has been a surge in public support for NATO membership. On Sunday, Finland is expected to formally announce its plan to join. And that's it for now. We will bring you more news when Perpetua steps in. Stay with us.
The cosmetics and personal care industry globally generates an estimated annual turnover of around $400 billion over the last 20 years. In Nigeria, the beauty and personal care market could reach 3.2 billion euros by 2021, making Nigeria the rising star in sub-Saharan Africa. Products for hair and body care are predominant on the beauty market in sub-Saharan Africa, where face products and makeup remain marginal but have strong potential. Africa's largest economy clearly has a lot to offer. The Nigerian beauty and personal care market is currently worth more than $1.25 billion at retail and is forecast to reach more than $1.31 billion next year according to Euromonitor International. It includes a wide range of products from skincare items to makeup and beauty items. These are items that predominantly appeal to women and men alike to purchase beauty products, even though men are interested in cosmetics. Nigeria has emerged as the investment destinations of choice to international firms aiming to capture the beauty and personal care market in the continent. The photography business is a very competitive industry. Every year, thousands of talented photo lovers consider turning their passion into a money-making business venture. Especially in a fiercely competitive marketplace like Nigeria, in which it is very easy for anyone to buy a digital camera and call themselves a professional photographer. According to some practitioners, a new photographer who wants a standard studio can start with a budget of 3.5 million naira. However, one can start with a lower budget of about 500,000 to 1 million naira depending on the tools and cost of rent. On the average, the cost of photography equipment is around 294,790 naira. However, the price ranges from around 41,000 naira to as high as 2.46 million naira. Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people with a vibrant movie industry that produces 50 movies per week, generating annual revenue of approximately $590 million from between 2016 and 2021, helping the photography industry as a whole, according to a recent research by the UN.
Are you a business owner looking for the right exposure to attract massive clients to your brand? The long search is definitely over. SME Hub allows you to showcase your products and services to a wide range of viewers and buyers nationwide. For further inquiries, please call Alero on 081-323-43262, or you can send an email to alero.ogudere@ibrandtv.com. Grow your brand and boost your business on SME Hub, live on IBrandTV, where business comes first.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
This is News Now. I am Perpetua Fasamipita. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami have filed a suit at the Supreme Court seeking an interpretation of Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act 2022. In the suit filed on April 29, the President and AGF, who are the plaintiffs, listed the National Assembly as the sole defendant. They are seeking an order of the Apex Court to strike out this section of the Electoral Act, saying it is inconsistent with the nation's constitution. According to the court document, the plaintiffs contend that Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Amendment Act 2022 is inconsistent with the provisions of Sections 42, 65, 66, 106, 107, 131, 137, 147, 151, 177, 182, 192, and 196 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, as well as Article 2 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. President Buhari and Malami also contended that the Constitution already provides qualification and disqualification for the offices of the President and Vice President, Governor and Deputy Governor, Senate and House of Representatives, House of Assembly, Ministers, Commissioners, and Special Advisors. The Minister of Women Affairs, TALLEN, has announced her withdrawal from the senatorial race ahead of the general elections in 2023. She made the announcement in a statement on Monday, the final day to decide whether to resign as minister to pursue her political ambition or to reconsider the move. TALLEN, who initially announced to contest for the Plateau South senatorial seat in the National Assembly, had picked the expression of interest and nomination forms of the All Progressives Congress, APC. She was one of the 10 ministers President Muhammadu Buhari had directed to resign if they must contest for any political office in the 2023 elections. The Sokoto State Governor AMINU TAMBUWAL has announced the review of the earlier 24-hour curfew imposed on the state following the violence that trailed the protest embarked upon by some residents of the state earlier on Saturday. According to a statement signed by the state's Commissioner for Information, Isa Galadanshi, and made available to newsmen in the state on Monday morning, the government reviewed the curfew from 24 hours to now dusk to dawn. This, he said, was to enable residents of the state to embark on their legitimate business in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The government, however, advises people to maintain peace in this regard, as it will not condone any breach of law and order in the state. The Joint Security Task Force, consisting of police, army, NSCDC and DSS, on Sunday foiled bandits' attack on Munya, Shiroro and Pekoro local government areas of Niger. DSP Wasiu Abiodun, the spokesman of the Niger State Police Command, stated this in a statement in Minna. He said scores of the bandits escaped with gun injuries while the team recovered several cattle. Abiodun said on May 15, information was received that suspected armed bandits were sighted at Zazara and Injita villages of Munya local government area. The security tactical teams were immediately drafted to the area and discovered that the bandits had divided themselves into different groups, as some of them moved to Fuka and Daza villages of Munya local government area. According to him, the bandits were equally engaged in gun duel and some of them were neutralized, while others escaped into the forest with gunshot injuries. Some unidentified arsonists have burnt down Court 3 Magistrate Court and other buildings housing several offices on the premises of the Secretariat of Idemili local government area in Ogidi, a town in Anambra State. According to eyewitnesses, the incident happened on Sunday night as the hoodlums destroyed files and properties in the Secretariat, including the Secretariat building. While the entire buildings were left in ruins, vehicles parked inside the local government Secretariat were also razed. In another attack close to the local government Secretariat, the office of the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, was badly torched. The main office building and several shuttle buses used by the company for the operations were all destroyed completely. The police public relations officer in the state, Tochukwu Kenga, confirmed the incidents on Monday. Although he stated that no life was lost in both attacks, the command spokesman regretted that several buildings and vehicles were destroyed. Presidential aspirant under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, MOHAMMED, HAYATUDREN, has promised to serve the Nigerian populace with distinction. The former banker and economist promised to restore peace and harmony across the nation, as well as fix what he described as an already battered economy. HAYATUDREN made this promise in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where he met party delegates in a bid to clinch Nigeria's highest political seat.
Nigeria is on the brink, and it is only by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are still standing at 1 minute. I had long expected that we would have actually dissolved. So 2023 is important and consequential. And as enlightened people with a deep sense of history and the culture and an empire going back hundreds of years, I implore you to please make the right kind of choice and the right kind of decision.
Inactive and constructive youth participation in the Nigerian political process have been identified as the bane of national development. A group under the aegis of the Southwest arm of the National Youth Inclusiveness in Governance made a standpoint known in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital.
Active and constructive youth participation in Nigerian political process has gradually become non-existent over the years. Arguably, youth in the political space, particularly those in political parties, are oftentimes used as talks by politicians. Young people must play important and active roles in determining the political future of their country by engaging political actors with demand for inclusion and equal access to political participation. As the 2023 general election draws nearer, the young people of this country have to take control of their destinies and shape the future of their country themselves.
All right, it's a wrap on this segment. Many thanks for watching. I am Perpetua Fasamipita. And coming right after now is Entertainment Business. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment Business. I am Chioma Amaribulam. Ukraine's folk rap group Kalush Orchestra has won this year's Eurovision Song Contest, surfing a wave of goodwill from European nations to clinch the country's third win at the Glitzy event. The event marked the first major cultural event in which Ukrainians have taken part since Russia invaded in February, and many in the audience waved Ukrainians' blue and yellow national flag during the event. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky praised Kalush Orchestra in an Instagram post just seconds after its victory was announced. And I quote, "Our courage impresses the world. Our music conquers Europe," he said in the post. Alluding to the rule that a winner of the previous year's competition gets to host the contest, he said, and I quote, "Next year, Ukraine will host Eurovision for the third time in its history, and I believe not the last. We will do our best to one day host the participants and guests of Eurovision in Ukrainian Mariupol. Free, peaceful, rebuilt." End of quote. Anyway, from that now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is again the #1 movie at the domestic box office. In its second weekend of release, it has collected $61 million from 4,534 North American theaters. After 10 days on the big screen, the standalone superhero adventure has grossed a strong $291 million in North America. At the international box office, The Strange sequel added $83.5 million from 49 markets. In total, the film has grossed $688.1 million globally. Over the weekend, two movies, Firestarter and Family Camp, opened nationwide to disappointing returns. Universal's disturbing remake of Stephen King's Firestarter fizzled with $3.8 million from 2,412 screens. The roadside attraction's faith-based comedy, Family Camp, generated $1.4 million from 854 locations. And it's a wrap on Entertainment Business. I am Chioma Amaribulam.
Up next is Sport Business.
UEFA has agreed a deal with TikTok that sees the social media giant become a global sponsor of the 2022 European Women's Football Championship. The deal will see TikTok launch a number of dedicated activations on the platform to allow users to customize their own posts, with UEFA also providing its partner new access to an extensive library of assets to develop content. In addition, UEFA is launching an official Women's Euros 2022 account on TikTok ahead of the tournament, which will run from the 6th of July until the 31st of July. More traditional elements of the partnership include ticketing and hospitality access, branding opportunities, and other fan activations. The agreement sees TikTok link up with UEFA again, having been a global partner for the Men's Euro 2020 last year. Now, in terms of rugby, USA Rugby is hoping for a profit of around $1 billion from the 2031 and 2033 Rugby World Cups. In a first for rugby union, the United States was confirmed as the host for the 2031 men's and 2033 women's tournaments after USA Rugby entered into an exclusive dialogue phase with World Rugby last November. In March, USA Rugby World Cup bid chair Jim Brown revealed that staging the two events would cost approximately $500 million. Now, having secured hosting rights for the first time, USA Rugby is confident of posting a bumper profit for the 2031 and 2033 showpieces. Costs, profits, and losses will be shared between USA Rugby and World Rugby, with the latter providing the bulk of the funding. The new approach reflects the global governing body's change in policy of partnering with unions to stage World Cups. Japan 2019 was hailed as the most economically successful Rugby World Cup, as the tournament generated some $5.2 billion in economic output and added $2.8 billion to the GDP of Japan. Still talking sports business at this time, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority has committed $19.5 million over the next 3 years towards Formula One's Las Vegas Grand Prix. The LVCVA has partnered with Liberty Dice Incorporation for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which will run its inaugural race in November 2023 on a temporary 3.8-mile course on the iconic Las Vegas Strip. Payments will be made using the board's general fund, and the LVCVA's unanimous vote to spend $6.5 million per year to sponsor the Las Vegas Grand Prix follows Liberty Media, which is Formula One's parent company's agreement to purchase 39 acres east of the Strip for $240 million. The area will be used as the pit and paddock complex for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The highly anticipated Las Vegas Grand Prix will mark the third race in the United States on the Formula One calendar. And finally, on sports business at this time, Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving has one of the most popular sneakers in all of basketball, but Nike is reportedly unwilling to move forward with the controversial seven-time All-Star. Nike is reportedly skeptical about Irving's future in the NBA, a factor in reaching a deal when his contract, reportedly worth $11 million per year, expires after the 2022-2023 season. Irving played in only 29 games this past season because he was unvaccinated, and New York City's vaccination mandates didn't allow him to play home games. He forfeited roughly $16 million of his contract from missed games. And that's it on sports business. I'm Samson Oleide.
And that's it on Business Now from IBrandTV Lagos. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nath.